Hey everyone, I'm Karan from Enable, and thank you for sticking with us throughout this official tutorial series on AbleSet. If you've been following along with the series up until now, you'll already be familiar with most of the capabilities that make AbleSet such a powerful and unique tool for your live shows. In this third chapter, we're going to focus on the advanced features and some more special but very useful use cases. So this is going to be for those of you who really want to add the final bit of customization and optimization to your live setup. The first of those features is using lyrics. AbleSet's lyrics feature is exactly what you'd expect it to be, but it can be so much more. It essentially allows you to display text in sync with your playback. While the obvious use case is to display lyrics on a teleprompter on stage, it can be used to display synced notes on a per-device basis as well. So while the singer is using it for lyrics on stage, the monitor engineer could use it for in-ear mix cues on their AbleSet client, and the guitar tech could have song-specific notes on which guitar to prep and what tunings to use. And once you actually discover that you can also show not just text, but also images, lyric tracks really unfold their full potential. Let's dive in. The lyric track workflow is similar to the sections track we looked at in the previous chapter. Start by adding the plus lyrics flag to an empty MIDI track. Each clip on this track corresponds to a line of your lyrics. The clip name is the actual text, and the start point and length of the clip determine when the line will be shown during the song. Now, since typing out your lyrics into clips like this can be a bit tedious, there's a lyrics track generator available on the AbleSet website. You can paste your lyrics in here, enter a song name, and have it generate an ALS file for you, which contains a lyrics track with one MIDI clip per line. This tool also gives you the option to sync up your lyrics to an audio file right here in the browser, but I'm just going to download the unsynced version for now and drag it into my project. I can then go ahead and adjust the clip timings by hand. Okay, now with the lyrics set up for the songs where I need them, I'm just going to go ahead and rename the lyrics track. And I'm also going to add a color, which is going to be good for identifying it when using multiple lyrics tracks later. To view my lyrics, I'm going to go up to the lyrics tab in the AbleSet window up here. And then you'll see that I've already got my text displayed right here. And as my playhead progresses over one clip to the next, AbleSet will jump to the specific lines. With playback stopped, I can now jump around in the timeline and the lyric display always syncs up. And the lyrics are also wrapped into these section blobs above and below, so you get an even better overview of where you are in the song. Now, this is the default way of displaying lyrics, but you can customize it to your liking using attributes in square brackets, just like with cue notations. First up, you can globally adjust size and justification, add, for instance, left in square brackets to the lyrics track to align your lyrics to the left of the screen instead of the standard center alignment. The default font size is medium, but there are options for large, small, or even tiny text. These sizes are relative to your screen size, so make sure to test them on the device you'll actually be viewing the lyrics on. And lastly, if you're into monospaced fonts, you can always add the mono option in brackets as an attribute. Over here, the singer's last line of the verse leads into the pre-chorus, so my lyric clip starts in one section and ends in another. AbleSet will intelligently allocate that line to the section where the majority of it is sung. If you'd manually like to move it, you can add a less than symbol or a greater than symbol in square brackets to shift it to the earlier or the later section. It's also possible to color in the text of your lyrics by adding a color attribute to the lyric track's name, and the color options are the same as with song colors. Once again, this can be really handy when using multiple lyrics tracks, which we'll get to in just a second. And on top of that, it's also possible to use different colors in specific lines only. Remember the plus CC flag from the sections track? Well, it works here as well. So once it's in the track name, I can just change the color of a lyrics clip, and that color will adjust in the lyrics window in AbleSet. You could use this to color code lines that need to be sung with higher intensity, or to only highlight the ones which need to be harmonized by the backing vocalists, whatever you might find helpful. Wrap your text in single asterisks for italic lines and double asterisks for bold formatting. And these also work on single words or phrases within your line, so you can get really creative by combining this with clip colors. Now, let's look at some further options to tweak the look of our lyrics view. If you're using lyrics in genres like rap or hip-hop, you might have quite long lines within one lyric clip. In this case, you'll see AbleSet add line breaks to make everything fit on the screen, but depending on the phrasing, these line breaks might not be very intuitive for you to perform to. So you can actually actively tell AbleSet where to place these by typing a backslash whenever you want a new line to start. You can also see that AbleSet highlights the active lyric line slightly by zooming into it and adding this fade out effect to the previous and upcoming lines. You can deactivate each of these options individually by adding the no zoom or no fade attribute to the track name, and with this you'll get better readability of your upcoming lines. But let's say you still want your current line to stand out in some way. There's two cool workflows. You can use the word line marker in brackets to get a little arrow pointing to your active line, or add a karaoke-style color animation using the attribute progress. Also, speaking of upcoming lines, you might want to only focus on those and not have lyrics that you already sung cluttering up your screen. If you add the top attribute, your current line will go to the top, thereby hiding your past lines. Or you could tweak it even further by saying you want the top alignment, but still have AbleSet show one previous line by adding +1 in this attribute. This will work with any number, so you could even choose quite a high one as a cheat code for aligning your active lyric to the bottom of the screen. When we looked at Performance View in an earlier video, I already hinted that you can add a lyric element in the Performance View settings. Lyrics show up on the right of your Performance View elements and to the left of your Setlist View element, if you have that active as well. And once again, this is where adjusting the size of your lyrics to your individual setup is really useful. When I use lyrics this way, I don't really want to have the section blobs taking up space in the lyrics area, since I can see my song progress over here anyway. This is where the No Sections attribute is a good way to clean things up. Another cool thing is that lyrics can actually also be used to navigate the song when playback is stopped. If I click on any line, AbleSet will go to that spot in the timeline. This is yet another way to get you where you need to go quickly, and can be especially helpful when using lyrics tracks for other types of notes. Also, instead of clicking, I can jump backwards or forwards by one line at a time using the comma key or the full stop key respectively. I also have the ability to pin a line. If I press the hotkey Shift M, this anchor symbol will appear up here, and my current line will remain in focus regardless of my song progress. I can toggle pinning off again using the same hotkey. But alternatively, I could also leave the pinning on and move the pin forwards or backwards using the M or N keys. With these, I can scroll through my lyrics independent of my playhead position, even during playback. And that could be, for instance, useful if you're singing to just a 4-bar pad loop, but you still want the full lyrics for your song. You'll notice that once I reach the end of my song, only the lyrics for the current song will be displayed. An alternative to this is to add the All Songs attribute so you can actually see the lyrics of your entire setlist across songs. This way you can scroll through and even jump to different songs using lyrics. One example use case would be to set up a lyrics track where you mark the parts of your set that you want to test during soundcheck, and then just jump to the specific parts with the lyrics track. Finally, let's look at some of the settings options I have in the lyric window. I can choose to show my play and pause toggle or to show the loop toggle, and I can also show the record button or the re-enable automation button if I need them. Now, I already showed you how to pin lyrics, and the anchor symbol that appears is actually called the line override button. I can also just choose to always show this even when pinning is not active from this option. And you'll have noticed that if I'm at the end of my song, AbleSet will show me the next song name down here. I can choose to hide this from this toggle. And finally, I can also choose to flip my lyrics vertically so I can use them with a teleprompter that relies on a mirror. As a musician, you might be familiar with learning songs using chord charts like these. Well, you can actually display these type of charts with AbleSet's lyric feature using what's called the Chord Pro syntax. To add chords, simply type them in square brackets within a lyric clip and it will appear above that line. And as soon as AbleSet recognizes Chord Pro notation, it will adjust the layout of that lyrics track to the left for better readability. Chords will appear above whichever word is written right after the brackets. If you insert a space between the brackets and the word, the chord will be shown between this word and the previous one. It's also possible to insert chords in the middle of a word to place them above a certain syllable. You can designate a color to all your chords using the chord color attribute. So I could, for instance, add chords :blue in square brackets to highlight them. These colors will remain independent of your clip colors, so chords can always be identified quickly. Once you've set up your chord charts, one really handy trick is the ability to transpose your chords. This is possible on a per song basis by adding the number of semitones to the song locator like so, or even globally by adding it to the lyrics track instead, which for instance can be handy if you're doing a one-time gig on a guitar that is not in standard tuning. Okay, finally we're going to look at displaying images in AbleSet with the help of lyric tracks. This unlocks many use cases. Think of sheet music pages that are always in sync with your playback, or displaying guitar chord charts for those voicings the artist wanted, or having the notation for an important drum fill show up just before you need to play it. You get the idea. So to set this up, we'll need to go into the Ableton project folder. Locate current project in your browser and right-click and show it in the Finder or Explorer. In here, create a folder named Lyrics. I can now just insert my image files here or create further subfolders for better organization. And by the way, most common image file formats are supported. Now to actually display a certain image during a song, we'll go back to the lyrics tracks and use the following notation. Open square bracket img, colon, and then the image path within the lyrics folder, and then close the bracket. Make sure you get the spelling right and include the file format. By adding the full attribute to the clip name, I can even have this image take up the entire screen, which is great for song charts. I can do this on a per clip basis or globally in the track name. PDF documents are not supported in this feature, but there is a handy lyrics image generator available on the AbleSet website, which you can upload your PDF to. It will then create a JPEG or PNG image for every page in your PDF and a lyrics track with the clips already set up to go with it. When using lyrics, especially with their advanced functionality, you might want to tweak the timing of how they're displayed. This could be due to latency on your network or even just personal preference. You can shift them later or earlier, either in milliseconds, like plus or minus 50 ms, or a certain number of beats, like plus 2n or minus 1n. And as I said before, you can have more than one lyrics track by adding the plus lyrics flag to multiple MIDI tracks in your live session. You can select which of these tracks you want to view from this dropdown in AbleSet. Each of these tracks can be customized individually in all the ways we just looked at. And in combination with multiple AbleSet client devices on stage, you can then create really elaborate stage setups with specific lyrics, notes, and images for different people in your band and crew. Okay guys, that covers it for lyrics. Next up, we're going to look at the mixer feature, which actually gives you access to levels, mutes, and solos of your backing tracks. Head over to ableset.com to get your copy of AbleSet and check out Enable for more tips on playback and Ableton Live. If you're finding these videos helpful, please like and please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.